Let me describe something that happens in millions of homes every single night. You finish your day. You brush your teeth. You turn off the lights. You climb into bed and pull the covers up, and within a few minutes your breathing slows and you drift toward sleep. And somewhere in the quiet darkness of your home, your cat begins to move. Not the playful, zooming movement of a kitten with too much energy. Something slower. Something more deliberate. They walk from the bedroom to the hallway. They stop. They stand perfectly still in the darkness and they stare at absolutely nothing for 45 seconds. Then they walk to the living room. They sit on the back of the couch and they look out the window at the street. Then they walk back. Then they sit in the doorway of your bedroom and they make that sound. Not quite a meow. Lower than that. A sound that lives somewhere between a question and a complaint. A sound that pulls you halfway out of sleep and makes you open one eye and mutter, "You are fine, go to sleep," before you drift back under. But they are not fine. And they are not going to sleep. And if you have a cat who does this, I need you to hear something important tonight. That behavior is not quirky cat personality. That is not your cat being mysterious and independent and doing cat things. That is your cat performing a security sweep. Every single night. Alone. In the dark. Because something in their environment has not given their nervous system permission to rest. They are checking the perimeter. They are verifying the exits. They are standing in hallways and staring at shadows because their brain is running a threat assessment loop that has no off switch. And that loop runs because no one has ever taught them at the biological level that nighttime in this home is genuinely, consistently, categorically safe. Now here is what breaks my heart about this picture. The cat doing this nightly security patrol almost certainly has an owner who loves them completely. An owner who feeds them well and takes them to the vet and buys them toys and occasionally feels guilty that they don't interact with them enough. An owner who is 12 feet away, asleep, completely unaware that their cat is spending every night carrying a weight that was never meant to be carried alone. Because safety for a cat is not the absence of danger. Safety is the presence of a specific signal. A signal that their nervous system recognizes at the deepest biological level as evidence that the threat assessment can stop. That the perimeter is secured. That tonight they do not have to stand watch alone. And for the overwhelming majority of cats living in homes right now, that signal is never given. Not because their owners don't love them, but because nobody told the owners that the signal needed to be sent. Tonight I am going to tell you. Please take a breath and let go of any guilt that just surfaced. The fact that you are here watching this already makes you different from the owner who never thought to ask the question. Hi everyone. I am Dr. Nadia Park, and this is Paw Secrets Lab. I have spent the last 11 years studying feline environmental psychology, which is the science of how a cat's physical and social environment shapes their neurological state, their stress hormone levels, their immune function, and the quality and depth of the emotional bond they form with the humans they live with. What I have found consistently across thousands of cases is this. The quality of a cat's night determines the quality of everything else. Their health, their behavior, their affection levels, their resilience to stress, their relationship with you. It all flows from the night. And there is one specific habit, one single, consistent, repeatable thing that you can begin doing tonight that changes the neurological experience of nighttime for your cat at the biological level. Not a product. Not a supplement, not a special piece of furniture, a habit. In Chapter 1, I will explain the feline territorial brain and why your cat's nervous system is fundamentally incapable of resting until specific environmental conditions are met, no matter how safe your home objectively is. In Chapter 2, I will show you the 3 signals of nighttime insecurity, the specific behaviors that tell you your cat is running a threat assessment every night instead of genuinely resting. In Chapter 3, I will teach you the nighttime territory confirmation ritual, the one specific habit that sends the biological safety signal your cat's nervous system has been waiting for, and the exact way to perform it for maximum neurological impact. And in Chapter 4, I will show you how to build the complete safe night environment, the specific physical adjustments to your home that work alongside the ritual to create a nighttime experience that your cat's nervous system can finally, fully surrender to. Subscribe to Paw Secrets Lab right now and join our community of educated, empowered cat owners. Get something to write with, because what you are about to learn tonight is going to change what your cat's nights look like starting tomorrow. Let us begin. To understand why one specific nighttime habit changes everything for your cat, we first need to understand something fundamental about how a cat's brain is actually organized. Because a cat's brain is not organized the way yours is. Your brain, the human brain, operates with what neuroscientists call a flexible threat model. This means that your brain constantly receives new information from your environment and updates its threat assessment in real time. When you walk into a new room, your brain scans it, determines it is safe, and then files that assessment away. The next time you enter that room, the assessment is retrieved and confirmed quickly, and your threat response remains quiet. You can enter 100 different rooms in 100 different locations, and your brain handles each one as a new data point, updates the model, and moves on. A cat's brain does not work this way. The feline nervous system operates on what behavioral neuroscientists call a territory-anchored threat model. This means that a cat's sense of safety is not abstract or transferable. It is geographically specific. It is chemically specific. And it is socially specific. A cat does not assess environments in general. A cat assesses their territory specifically. And their territory must meet a precise set of neurological criteria before their threat response system will genuinely deactivate. Here is what those criteria are. Territorial Criterion 1. Sense sovereignty. A cat's primary sense is not sight. It is not even hearing, though both are extraordinary. A cat's primary interface with reality is olfaction. Smell. A cat experiences their world almost entirely through chemical signals. And the most important chemical signal in a cat's life is their own scent. A space that carries a cat's own scent markers is a space that their nervous system registers as controlled territory. A space without their scent markers, or with unfamiliar scent intrusions, is a space that registers as uncontrolled, potentially hostile, requiring surveillance. When a cat rubs their cheek against a door frame, or the corner of your couch or your ankle, they are not just being affectionate. They are deploying pheromone compounds from scent glands in their facial tissue onto surfaces they are claiming as part of their safe space. They are literally writing their name on the walls of their territory in a chemical language that their own nervous system will read back and find reassuring. The problem is that scent markers fade. Every day, the chemical signals your cat has placed throughout your home degrade slightly. Cleaning products accelerate this degradation dramatically. Scented candles, air fresheners, and strongly scented laundry products can effectively erase a cat's territorial scent markers from surfaces they worked hard to claim. Every night, your cat wakes up in a home that is slightly less chemically theirs than it was the night before. Territorial Criterion 2. Perimeter integrity. In the wild, a cat's territory has defined boundaries. They know where it starts and where it ends. They know the entry points. They know the exit routes. They know the elevated surveillance positions and the hidden refuge zones. This knowledge is not just practical. It is neurological. A cat with a fully mapped, fully understood territorial perimeter has a nervous system that can afford to rest. Because the perimeter is known, the threat assessment loop can run at a low background level instead of a high active level. Your home, no matter how long your cat has lived in it, presents a nightly perimeter challenge. Doors that were open during the day may be closed at night. Furniture that has been moved creates a gap in the mental map. A new smell from outside the window represents an unknown entity approaching a boundary point. Every one of these perimeter uncertainties adds to the background load on your cat's threat assessment system. Territorial Criterion 3. Social Anchor Confirmation. This is the criterion that almost no one knows about, and it is the most powerful of the three. Cats who live with humans do not just form a territorial bond with a physical space. They form what behavioral scientists call a social territorial anchor with specific individuals in that space. This means that for a domesticated cat, part of what makes their territory safe is not just the physical environment. It is the confirmed active presence of their primary social bond. In the wild, a cat with a social partner, another cat they trust, sleeps more deeply, resumes normal behavior faster after stressors, and shows lower baseline cortisol levels than a solitary cat. The social partner is part of the safety infrastructure. For your cat, you are that social partner. You are part of the territorial safety equation. And here is the critical implication of this. When you disappear into your bedroom and close your door and go to sleep without providing any form of social anchor confirmation to your cat, their nervous system does not simply continue in a state of comfortable independence. It begins running a low-level search. The primary social anchor is absent. The perimeter needs confirming. The scent markers need checking. The security patrol begins. Understanding these three territorial criteria is the foundation for everything that follows. because the one nighttime habit I am going to teach you is specifically designed to address all three of them simultaneously. Before we get to the solution, I want you to be able to accurately assess your own cat's nighttime experience. Because many owners cannot tell the difference between a cat who is genuinely resting and a cat who is in a chronic state of low-level nocturnal stress. Here are the 3 specific behavioral signals that tell you your cat is experiencing nighttime insecurity. Signal 1. The repetitive patrol route. A cat who is genuinely relaxed and settled at night will choose a resting location and stay in or near it for extended periods. They may shift positions, groom briefly, or change rooms once or twice across the night. But their movement is purposeful and concludes in settled rest. A cat running a security patrol moves differently. Their route is repetitive. They check the same windows repeatedly. They stand in the same doorways. They return to the same elevated positions and stare in the same directions. The movement does not conclude in rest. It concludes in another circuit of the same route. If you have ever noticed your cat seems to be checking the same spots every night in what feels like a pattern, you are watching a security patrol. Signal 2. The nighttime vocalization. The sound I described in the opening of this video. The low, searching, half-question vocalization that cats make in the dark. This is not communication directed at you exactly. It is what animal behaviorists call a contact call. In the wild, it is the sound a cat makes when they are trying to locate a social partner whose position is uncertain. Your cat is calling into the darkness of your home to check whether their social anchor is still present and responsive. When you call back even groggily from the bedroom, they are briefly reassured. But the reassurance is incomplete because it is passive and disembodied. A voice from behind a closed door is not the same neurological signal as a confirmed, present social anchor. The calling resumes, usually within minutes. Signal 3. The pre-dawn restlessness. This is the signal that most owners experience as frustration rather than recognizing it as information. In the hour before dawn, approximately 4 to 6 in the morning, your cat becomes active. Not playful active. Restless active. They may walk on you, paw at your face, knock objects off surfaces, vocalize persistently. Most owners interpret this as the cat being demanding or hungry. Sometimes it is hunger. But more often, this pre-dawn restlessness is the behavioral expression of a nervous system that has been running in low-level threat assessment all night and is now pushing for resolution before the territory transitions from nighttime to daytime. Your cat needs the social anchor confirmation that will allow their nervous system to complete its overnight cycle and genuinely rest before the day begins. They are asking for the signal. They just do not have words to tell you that. Here is the habit. It is called the nighttime territory confirmation ritual. And before I explain exactly how to perform it, I want to explain why it works at the biological level so you understand you are not just following a routine. You are sending a specific neurological signal to a specific part of your cat's brain. The ritual works by simultaneously addressing all 3 territorial criteria we discussed in Chapter 1. Confirms scent sovereignty. It confirms perimeter integrity. And it delivers social anchor confirmation in the most biologically meaningful form possible. Here is exactly what it looks like. Ritual Phase 1. The pre-sleep territory walk. Duration, 4 to 6 minutes. Every night, before you go to bed, you are going to walk the main areas of your home with your cat. Not a brisk, purposeful human walk. A slow, meandering, low-energy stroll that follows wherever your cat leads, or that covers the primary zones of your shared space. The living room, the hallway, the kitchen, the areas near windows and exterior doors. You are not exercising. You are not playing. You are not completing a task. You are accompanying your cat on a territorial circuit. You move slowly. Your body language is relaxed. Your shoulders are down. Your breathing is slow and deliberate. You are not looking at your phone. You are present, physically in the shared territory at low arousal, moving through the space together. Here is what this does neurologically. A cat whose primary social anchor accompanies them on a territorial circuit receives confirmation that the social anchor is aware of the territory and present within it. This directly addresses the social anchor confirmation criterion. Their nervous system registers not a passive, absent partner behind a closed door, but an active, aware, present partner who has physically participated in the nighttime territory assessment. The threat assessment loop receives data it can close on. Ritual Phase 2. The scent reinforcement touch. Duration, 2 to 3 minutes. As you move through the space, you are going to engage in specific physical contact with your cat that serves a precise neurological purpose. Slow, firm strokes from the top of the head, down the cheeks, along the jaw, and to the neck. These are the precise locations of the cat's major facial scent glands. The supracaudal gland region along the jaw, the parietal glands around the mouth, and the temporal glands near the ears. When you stroke these areas slowly and firmly, you are doing two things simultaneously. You are activating the scent glands and encouraging the deposit of pheromone compounds. Not onto furniture surfaces, but onto your own hands. You are literally picking up your cat's territorial scent markers on your skin. And you are delivering the parasympathetic calming response that firm, slow, deliberate touch triggers in the feline nervous system. Now, here is the critical next step that most people would never think to do. After stroking your cat's facial scent glands, you gently rub your hands along the lower surfaces of furniture in the main areas of your home. The lower legs of chairs, the base of the couch, the floor-level surfaces near doorways. You are redistributing your cat's scent markers throughout their territory at the end of the day when those markers are at their most degraded. You are literally refreshing the chemical language of territorial ownership throughout the home, so that when your cat walks their circuit in the night, they encounter their own fresh scent in the locations where it matters most. The territory smells like them again. The perimeter reads as controlled. Ritual Phase 3. The Social Anchor Deposit. Duration 3 to 5 minutes. This is the final and most powerful component of the ritual, and it requires nothing more than your physical presence and your intentional calm. Before you go to your bedroom, you sit on the floor, on a low chair, on the couch at your cat's level. Somewhere in the main shared space of your home. You slow blink. You breathe slowly. You are soft and present and completely without agenda. And you let your cat come to you. They may rub against you. They may sit near you without touching. They may slow blink back. They may begin grooming, which is the feline behavioral signal that says the threat assessment has down-regulated and the nervous system is shifting toward rest. What you are doing in these 3 to 5 minutes is depositing what I call the social anchor signal directly into the shared territory at the moment of transition between your active day and your sleeping night. You are not disappearing behind a closed door. You are completing a territorial circuit together, refreshing the scent infrastructure of the space, and then deliberately, calmly, transitioning your presence from active to resting in a way that your cat's nervous system can track and find reassuring. You are telling them in the language their biology actually speaks. The territory is confirmed. The perimeter is known. I am here and I am aware and the night is safe. And then you go to bed. The entire ritual takes between 10 and 15 minutes. The difference it makes in your cat's night is not subtle. After 7 to 14 days of consistent practice, owners who implement this ritual report dramatic reductions in nighttime vocalization, the cessation of repetitive patrol behavior, and cats who are visibly calmer, more affectionate, and more settled during the day as a direct result of finally getting the deep, restorative sleep their nervous system could not achieve before. The ritual is the foundation, but the environment your cat sleeps in either supports that foundation or undermines it every single night. Here are the specific physical adjustments that complete the picture. Environmental Element 1. The defined refuge zone. Every cat needs at least one location in your home that functions as what behaviorists call a refuge zone. A space that is elevated or enclosed, that provides visual access to the room without requiring the cat to be visible, and that carries the strongest concentration of their own scent. This is not just a comfortable bed. It is a neurological sanctuary. The characteristics of an effective refuge zone are specific. It should be elevated at least 2 to 3 feet off the ground. It should have at least one enclosed or semi-enclosed side that the cat can place their back against. It should be located in a room where you spend significant time so that it carries your scent as well as theirs. And it should never be moved or cleaned with strongly scented products. The permanence of the refuge zone is part of its function. A cat whose refuge zone smells consistently of their own scent exists in a reliably consistent location and has never been a source of threat or disruption, has a neurological safe house that their brain can always return to when the threat assessment system activates. Set this up tonight. Do not move it. Environmental Element 2. The Nighttime Light Protocol. Complete darkness is not what most cats prefer for their nighttime environment. In the wild, cats operate in low light conditions, not true darkness. True darkness eliminates the visual processing that is part of their environmental monitoring. Leave a single low-wattage light source, a nightlight at floor level, or the passive glow of a streetlight through a gap in curtains, in the main area where your cat moves at night. This allows their extraordinary low-light vision to function without requiring the strain of true darkness navigation. A cat who can see their environment clearly at night runs a lower intensity perimeter check than one who is navigating primarily by scent and hearing in complete darkness. Environmental element 3. The exterior sound buffer. One of the most consistent triggers of nighttime territorial insecurity in indoor cats is exterior sound. A car door closing at 2 in the morning. A fox calling in the yard. A neighbor's dog. A delivery vehicle. Every exterior sound that a cat cannot visually identify and locate represents a potential territorial intrusion at a boundary point. It triggers a perimeter check. White noise played at low volume in the main areas of your home, particularly near windows that face streets or yards, creates an auditory buffer that reduces the salience of exterior sounds and decreases the frequency of sound-triggered perimeter activation. Not loud white noise. A gentle, consistent ambient sound, rainfall recordings, a low fan, or a dedicated white noise machine at low volume that gives your cat's auditory system a steady, non-threatening baseline to rest against rather than pure silence that makes every exterior sound pop into sharp relief. Environmental element 4. The closed door assessment. This is the question I ask every single client who describes nighttime restlessness in their cat. Do you close your bedroom door at night? For cats who are showing signs of nighttime insecurity, a closed bedroom door is a significant territorial problem. It creates a boundary within the territory that the cat cannot assess or confirm. It places the primary social anchor in a location that is inaccessible and unverifiable. If at all possible, leave your bedroom door open at night. Not because your cat needs to sleep in your bed, though many will choose to, and this is neurologically beneficial for both of you, but because a cat who can enter your bedroom, confirm your presence, and choose their own position relative to you, has a social anchor that is fully accessible and fully confirmable throughout the night. The security patrol has less work to do when all zones of the territory are accessible and all members of the social group are locatable. If a closed door is genuinely necessary for your household, place an item of worn clothing, a t-shirt or pillowcase that carries your scent strongly, outside the bedroom door on the floor. Your scent in that location provides a partial social anchor signal even when physical access is not available. I want to come back to the image I painted at the beginning of this video. Your cat, alone in the dark, walking the hallway, standing at windows, making that low searching sound in the quiet of the sleeping house. I want you to see that image differently now. Not as a quirky cat being a quirky cat, but as an animal whose entire nervous system is oriented towards safety, whose primary safety signal is social, whose territorial brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do in the absence of the confirmation it needs. Looking for you. Not in the needy, anxious way the word looking might imply, but in the ancient, deeply biological way that a social creature looks for the anchor that tells their threat system it can rest. They have been looking for the signal every single night. You now know how to send it. 10 to 15 minutes before you go to bed. The slow walk together. The scent reinforcement touch. The 3 to 5 minutes of deliberate, present, soft calm before you transition to sleep. It is not complicated. It does not require anything you do not already have. It just requires the knowledge that the signal matters, and the consistency to send it every night. I want to hear from you. Does your cat do the nighttime security patrol? Do they make that searching sound in the dark? Have you ever watched them stand in a doorway and stare at nothing and wondered what they were seeing? Tell me about your cat's nighttime in the comments below. I read every single one, and I want to know what you are experiencing before and after you start this ritual. If this gave you a new way of understanding what is happening in your home after the lights go out, if it made you see your cat's nighttime behavior not as something to be managed but as something to be answered, please tap the like button. It tells YouTube that this kind of deep, honest feline science belongs in front of every cat owner who has ever wondered why their cat never seems to fully rest. Subscribe to Paw Secrets Lab so you never miss what we explore next, because we go deeper into feline neuroscience and behavioral biology every single week. I am Dr. Nadia Park. Do the walk tonight. Send the signal. Your cat has been waiting, and I will see you in the very next one.